don't know what you are. What's something that's your size?
Tire, maybe?
A tire?
I guess he's not that big.
Not quite as big as a tire. He's bigger than a bread loaf.
Maybe you're the...
It's halfway between a bread loaf and a bear.
Yeah.
Bread loaf and a bear. Well, look who it is. A bunch of reprobates this morning. Just a whole goddamn gaggle of reprobates, including that piece of shit Swegta. I am fully sick of your check mark, Swegta. Fuck you. I've been here longer. I was here on this platform when you were fucking shitting in your diapers. And yet you got a check mark and I don't. How the fuck does that happen? You tell me whose dick you had to suck to get a check mark right now, Swegta. I want to know. I want to know. Because I want to suck that dick. I've been here flexing his check mark in my face. Yeah, dude. I'm willing to give some check mark suck. I want a check mark somewhere. My ass has been around forever. Dude, my Twitter account is so old that I was able to get Paul's ego. No numbers, no bullshit. I've got like
it seems like they're passing them out to like randos, but
yeah, randos get check marks now. What about me? I'm the ultimate rando. Can a brother get a check mark? Check 1, check 2.
Secrets, I guess.
Hell no, I don't think he can. I think he's sworn to secrecy about the goddamn check mark. He's not allowed to. I'm not allowed to engage in any discussion about the check mark. Mail me your J and I'll tell you my secret. Dude, I can't mail you a J, number one. Number two, this is a cigarette. You don't want that. Number three, you got to tell me your secret, Swegta. It's not cool that you know how to get a check mark, but I don't know how to get a check mark. Dude, you know there are fucking people that are 20 times your size that don't have a check mark? How the fuck did you get a check mark? Goddamn fucking Swegta. Piece of goddamn Swegta.
Oh, get down, Mr. Farty Boy.
He farted on you?
Yep.
Go poop. Cigarette mail, yeah. Yeah, I think Swegta is in the deep state, personally. He's part of Obama's fucking propaganda section. See? Look at him. Tee-heeing his way with his fucking goddamn fucking check mark in my face. You know, he's the only goddamn person with a check mark that I've ever seen. It's true. Who do you know on YouTube that's got a check mark? TJ been around since YouTube was created. One of the biggest guys, got a fucking platinum play button, the whole nine. No check mark. Platinum play button, no check mark.
I think you gotta be like ideologically pure too, maybe.
Do you? Oh, is that what it is? Swegta's a lib. Swegta's a I'm with her Hillary lib. That's how he got it, dude. He was with her. I see.
That's how all the fucking Twitter check marks are born, it seems.
That's true. You got a good point.
I guess there's some conservatives too, but they're like mainstream-ish, maybe.
bastard. That bastard. No, it is weird. The whole YouTube checkmark thing is like a big, giant mystery to me. Because I've seen a few people that have them, but the way that they hand them out seems to be completely random.
It was a beta test.
Maybe. I don't know. The Twitter checkmark thing is, like, I guess you have to be, like, somebody has to be made aware at Twitter that you're there, and then you have to be considered noteworthy, I guess, enough to...
Maybe it depends on how many people try to imitate you.
Maybe. Maybe so. Get out there and imitate me more. You need to find an in at YouTube management. Oh, that's out of it. That's out of the fucking realm of possibility for me. I've talked way too much shit about YouTube. Don't you need at least 5K to be considered? 5K what? Subscribers? Got that. Followers? Got that.
Views for sure.
Views? Got that. Give me a goddamn check mark. What's the guy got to do? It's the least they could do for me. I'm giving how many years of my life to making fucking YouTube millions of dollars? Give me my goddamn check mark and send me something in the mail. Send me like a wood play button. And a check mark. Or else. You should request one? Like, who do you request one from? You have to go straight to the Wojcicki? Oh my God, no. No. No.
Oh, you have to have 100,000?
100,000 what? Subscribers?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I can work on that, but what else? So you have to have 100,000 subscribers and what? That's it? How come TJ doesn't have 9 check marks after his name?
Verify that you are authentic, must represent real creator, brand, or entity.
Mm-hmm.
Your channel, info and documentation. Public, have channel banner, description, profile picture, and content. Be active on YouTube.
So you have to be active on YouTube. So the only thing I don't meet is the 100K.
Yeah.
But that doesn't explain why TJ doesn't have 9 fucking check marks next to his name.
Yeah.
His name should be TJ Kirk. Check, 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 check.
And it's like he has books published. He has a whole Wikipedia article on him. Like.
Yep, he's got the provenance. He's got the old ass channel. He clearly is who he is. He's his own brand. Got close to 1 million subscribers. Bada bing, bada bang. He's got the play button. You would think that when they send you off the play button, they go ahead and throw you the goddamn check mark too. It would make sense. Why would they send you a goddamn play button?
It doesn't show on this thing where you even request it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm telling you, certain creators got like this back channel shit. Yeah. They do. The reason I know this is because TJ used to have it. Back in the day, he used to have a person that he could fucking hit up at YouTube and be like, hey, I got problems.
Oh, TJ had one until he changed his name. That's what fucked it all up.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. You're right. I forgot about that. TJ changed his name from The Amazing Atheist to TJ Kirk and lost his check mark because of it.
Which seems weird because he... Dinor! Dinor! Dinor!
Get inside. Get inside, Dinor.
You think changing it to your real name would make you no Dexter verified?
Yeah, I mean, like, the channel name shouldn't matter whether you're verified or not. Like, your channel is still your channel. It's just the name of the goddamn channel done changed. I don't know. The only thing I know is that Swegta has got connections. That's all I know. He ain't gonna tell you why. He ain't gonna tell you how. He ain't gonna tell you with who. But he's got connects, guaranteed. Swegta knows people who know people who know people. Sing you to sleep? No. No. But I'm gonna be extra annoying like this fly so that you can't sleep. Weep whoop weep whoop. Wee 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 wee. Eh, 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 eh. You were gonna tell me, but then I called you a lib? Damn. Fuck. Screwed over by my fucking shitty personality yet again. Uh-huh. God fucking damn it. Flew away. Land. Land's, oh yeah, right there? Okay. Yeah, you're a dead motherfucker now. Come on, anybody else? This fucking porch is a graveyard for your kind. So come on up. What's Dino even barking about now? God damn it. Okay, down there, huh? Gotcha. Yeah, Dinor barks when he thinks he hears the door as well. Tactical reload, yeah. We got it. How to reload the salt gun. I have not seasoned any of my food with the gun yet, no. Someday when I'm eating my dinner out here and something needs salt, I'm going to give it a spritz. I'm going to give it a spritz. Holy fuck. All right, so what's going on this morning? Is today Saturday? Saturday, right? If today is Saturday, then it's my Friday. Yay. It's 4 a.m. on Sunday. Fake news. Fake news. Fake news. Fake news. Fake news. Fake news. Saturday, Donnie, is Shomer Shabbos. That means I don't pick up the phone. I don't turn on the TV. I don't go grocery shopping. And I sure as hell don't fucking roll. Shomer Shabbos. You're not even Jewish, man. Excuse me, dude? You only did that Jewish thing because your fucking ex-wife was Jewish, man. Oh. I didn't realize that when you got a divorce, how does he put it? I love that movie. I need to watch that movie again. What the fuck? What the ever-loving fuck? Joe Lieberman is Shomer Shabbos? I did not know that. I did not know that. Wow. Blank spot while I was tuning into all the ambiance. I'm listening to some dude start up his motorcycle, listening to the approaching train, peacocks in the distance. That's one of the things that makes doing these out here kind of hard for me sometimes, is that I've reached a point in my life where I'm way more aware of what's going on around me when I'm outside than I have been in my past. It's like last night, I came out here, it was late, and I smoked a cigarette. I was about to go inside, and I turned around to turn the porch light off, and I saw this pair of shiny reflective eyes out there. just watching me. And I watched them. I normally wouldn't have noticed it. Just a cat, probably just a stray cat out there prowling around. Yeah, I hear people's screeching ass kids sometimes too. That I can tune out. That I can tune. He can tune. You are already dead, Mr. Murdoch. Sleep now. Dark City, yeah. Mr. Hand. Where is Mr. Hat? Mr. Hat dead. Dun 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 dun. Dude, the soundtrack for Dark City is one of those soundtracks that shows up in a ton of other movies. Like they've reused it a bunch of times, especially in trailers. When they need like some epic music, you'll hear the Dark City theme a lot of times. Would I be on Hot Ones? Not only would I be on Hot Ones, but when it came to the last dab, I would take the last dab straight to my mouth. And not even break a sweat. Those hot sauces can't fucking raise a welt on my fanny, dude. Bring a dab rig for the last dab, yeah. Like actually dab it. That would probably hurt your lungs, I would imagine. We did a whole, I think it was, I can't remember what it was. But we did a show where we discussed the myriad similarities. Oh yeah, it was the homage or ripoff show that I did about 6 months ago. We covered Dark City and The Matrix. And the question was, who ripped off who? Because there are far too many similarities, not just in plot, but in like tone and timbre and ambiance. Like those movies are so fucking similar. The use of the heavy blue and green color filter to denote the fakeness of the world, that's in both. The kind of heavy noir influence, that's in both. They actually used, you know, the scene at the beginning of The Matrix where Trinity is running from the cops and the agent? That whole city scene, that rooftop scene where she's running by, the props that are behind her and the roof that she's running on, that's a Dark City set. That's literally, they took set pieces from Dark City and used it in several different places in the Matrix. Dark City is legit. Like, look at the, okay, so let's look at like the plot similarities. All right. I'm going to describe a movie for you. And I'm not going to use specific detail, but I'm going to describe a movie. And you tell me whether I'm describing Dark City or The Matrix, right? So a guy who lives a normal life comes to feel disconnected with that life and eventually comes to question his own identity, and through that questioning meets people who help him to realize that the world is an illusion created by another group of beings in order to exploit humanity. And because of his knowledge of that fact, he develops the ability to control that environment. Am I talking about Fight Club or Dark City? Or sorry, am I talking about The Matrix or Dark City? Which one? Which movie did I just describe?
I think the main difference is like the purpose of the aliens with the humans.
Sure, like the minutia is different, right? So in Dark City, it's a group of aliens that take over human bodies so that they can look human. In the Matrix, it's machines that create these computer programs that look like humans. So the difference is in the little plot points and shit, but the overarching plot, that description that I gave could be a description for The Matrix, and it could be a description for Dark City. The major thread of plot at the beginning, a guy malaise with his life, questions his own identity, comes to realize through the help of others that the world is fake, has to deal with the fact that nobody else believes it, realizes that because he realizes that the world is fake, that he has the power to control certain aspects of it and break certain rules within the world. And goes up against the other beings that are keeping humanity for nefarious purposes. That's literally the plot line to The Matrix. That's literally the plot line to Dark City. Dark City came out like
98, and then
The Matrix
99.
99. So yeah, 1 year separates these films. And people want to, like, there are people out there that will tell you, oh, it's just coincidence that these films have basically the exact same plot line. And further coincidence that the films are shot very similarly. Further coincidence that the films are heavily noir influenced. Further, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, it's coincidence on coincidence on coincidence on coincidence on coincidence on coincidence. Doesn't happen. So at some point, the Wachowski sisters ripped off Alex Proyas's idea. That's how I feel about it.
I guess the alternative is like they both saw the same script in circulation and made their own fucking interpretations of it.
I don't think so, because the Wachowski sisters wrote The Matrix from the ground up. Alex Proyas wrote Dark City. So there was no so what I think happened is they saw Dark City's fucking script in circulation. And we're like, oh yeah, we like this movie. Dark City ended up being kind of a flop. And so they were like, let's make a cooler version of this, like a more cyberpunk up-to-date version of this movie, more action. Because that's really all what sets those movies apart. Dark City is less of an action film and more of like a film noir, kind of detective murder mystery kind of film. And The Matrix is more of a kung fu, high-octane action film. So it's like the same burrito, different tortillas. That's the way I like to think about it. And did they write any good scripts after? I mean, The Matrix 2 is not the worst movie that's ever been made. It doesn't live up to what, it doesn't reach the level that the first Matrix did, but it's not like as bad as sometimes people make it out to be. But the Matrix films, as they went on, just did get worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, I really haven't watched any of their other movies, so.
Yeah. I mean, what are their other movies?
Some of them are V for Vendetta.
Okay, yeah. So you've never seen V for Vendetta? V for Vendetta, that's a Wachowski movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's a good movie.
And then they did the Animatrix.
The Animatrix, well, they didn't do the Animatrix. They got a bunch of animators together and let them animate, like, backstories to the Matrix. So they got a bunch of different...
so that's just the Matrix.
So it's like a collection of animations made by other people based on the backstory and lore of the Matrix.
Oh.
But it's good. I agree. Like, the Animatrix is actually really, really good.
They did Cloud Atlas. I don't know what that is.
Cloud Atlas, I've never seen it, but it was a big movie.
Speed Racer.
Oh, God.
Jupiter Ascending.
Oh, God, again.
Bound.
I remember Bound, but I don't think I saw it. I remember it being out.
Ninja Assassin.
I don't remember that one either. These are like productions. They didn't direct all these, right?
Oh, yeah.
You got to check their writer-director credits, because it sounds like they were probably producers on all this shit.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I've heard that Cloud Atlas is good. I think it was like a big fucking like contender for possible Oscars or whatever the fuck.
She was the writer for Bound and Cloud Atlas.
All right.
And Jupiter Ascending. And Speed Racer and V for Vendetta.
All right. Well, there you go. That's cool. V for Vendetta, I didn't realize that was a Wachowski film. I guess maybe I should have, given how it's presented, but yeah, I'll check out Cloud Atlas eventually. I've never seen it, but I've heard good things about it. V for Vendetta is really good. I saw somebody say they tried to watch The Matrix, but they just thought it was, like, goofy.
I think it's a victim of it being too popular. Like, it's memey and shit at this point.
Not only that, but it's heavily, heavily tied to, like, an aesthetic that was considered to be cool in the 90s, like the late 90s, early 2000s, but now is not cool.
Yeah.
Like the wet leather and the trench coats and the... just the whole kind of aesthetic of The Matrix when it came out was super cool and edgy, but now it's dorky, kind of. Like, they look kind of dorky. I get that.
Yeah, it's like people that are my age, like, the memes were everywhere.
Of course. I mean, yeah, it was just like a heavily memed movie. I can do kung fu and and all the weird shit in it.
It's less impressive if you've seen it in a GIF 100 times.
Sure. They all look like edgelords. They are. That's the thing, is like, what you guys don't understand is that your generation's aversion to the edgelord is because the previous generation revered them. So you're just rebelling against what your mom and dad thought were fucking cool, which is a bunch of fucking edgelords. We liked George Carlin and Bill Hicks, edgelord and edgelord prime. We liked fucking edginess and edgelords in all our movies and shit. And now you guys think that that's lame because you don't want to be like mama and dada. And so edge is cringe now. And then when you shit out some kids, they're gonna be little edgelords because they're gonna look at you and they're gonna think like, what a fucking bunch of prudes my parents are. That's why we were edgelords. Because our parents were born in the goddamn 50s and they were like, hi, son, did you win at the football game? You know, and we were just like, man, fuck you. I want to smoke weed and wear a trench coat.
Well, maybe that's some hope that superhero movies will make a return to form eventually, because people will be sick of them.
Yeah.
We watched Superman the movie last night.
Yeah, the first Superman, right? Really good. Like, really, like kind of like a breath of fresh air if you don't watch nothing but Marvel films. Because, like, a Marvel film is trying to like assault your senses with constant stimulation, constant action, constant jokes, constant one-liners, right? And I'm not saying that's necessarily bad. I'm just saying that's the attack. And we've lived under the paradigm of Marvel now for what, 15 years? Oh, close to 20, right? That these Marvel movies have been just like... And you go back and you watch like the old, what I really want to watch with you now that we've watched Superman, we can watch another one of the Superman movies too. 1, 2, and 3 are all pretty decent, to be honest with you. And then we watch Batman and Batman Returns. Yeah. I want you to see the Tim Burton Batmans. Because once again, very different styles of film. They're not trying, they're visual. They're trying to evoke a lot of like, wow, that's cool looking in you, but it's the pacing is different. You were talking about it last night and you said, you know, it's kind of like a Hallmark movie.
But not in a bad way.
Right. Just in the way that the dialogue and presentation is stripped down. And I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Because comic books were kind of that way too. The dialogue was meant to just augment the feeling that the pictures portrayed. So really you were looking at how Superman looked when he was saying whatever it was. And I don't know, I really like the old superhero movies, especially now that we've, like I said, lived under the Marvel paradigm for so long.
And I think the comedy, like some of it was definitely cheesy, but some of it hit a lot better than the jokes they try to do now in Marvel.
True.
That fucking stupid Black Widow joke about posing.
Oh, the posing joke, yeah, was pretty lame. You're right.
Do you think Superman the movie was also trying to more heavily push the whole like allegory to Jesus thing too?
I mean, Superman is obviously just Jesus himself is just a retelling of the hero's journey.
Yeah.
So Superman, whether Superman was, you know, obviously he's like a savior figure. I remember when Superman came out, he was more of like a representation of the American ideal. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, there's definitely some Jesus mythology wrapped up in it. But I don't know. It's kind of interesting, too, the way that Superman's alter ego works in the movie. Yeah. Because at one point, like, I remember going like, man, why is he so dorky though? But then I thought about it and I was like, he has to be because he can't wear a mask all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like he has to be so the opposite of everything that Superman is.
Yeah.
So where Superman is strong and ultimately capable, he has to be weak and incapable. Where Superman is dexterous and fast and quick, he has to be slow and clumsy. Or Superman is smart and witty and affable and charming, he has to be off-putting and nerdy and insecure. And so it really like put Superman in a real tragic position. You know what I mean? Because in order for him to be, a normal person, he has to be a certain type of normal person. He can't let anything that he is shine through.
He wants to have a relationship with Lois Lane with his alter ego.
Right. He wants Lois Lane to love him for this. And really, the thing about Superman is this, and this is how I've always understood him. And this is different from Bruce Wayne and Batman. Bruce Wayne is not an alter ego. Bruce Wayne is Batman. So that's the difference. Superman is the inverse of pretty much every other type of superhero. So superheroes that have an alter ego, their alter ego is always them. It's like, I am Paul's ego, humble vlogger, but by night, I'm the ball. You know what I mean? Kick ass. I'm a dork by day, but at night I dress up and I go out and I kick ass. Superman is the other way around. His normal ego is his made up persona, but that is the one he has to use 99% of the time. So it's him. The thing is, Superman is both Clark Kent and Kal-El. He has to be. And that's what makes him so interesting in the face of other superheroes. Because he is that. Like, that's why it's so important to him that Lois Lane loves him without knowing that he's Superman, even though she doesn't. It's finding out that he is Superman and making the connection that other people can't that eventually causes her to fall in love with him.
Well, it's kind of hard to, reveal that secret to a goddamn reporter. So you can't trust a reporter.
It's hard to reveal that secret to anybody.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like, if you're a super being, your presence on the planet has to be some kind of fucking major secret.
Yeah.
Because if people know about you, they're going to try and get you. They're going to try and exploit you.
Well, he fucked up, man.
Yeah. But that was, his failings as Clark Kent. He was in love with her.
He wanted her to have the best story so she could get the most clout and shit.
Right. So Superman's a really interesting and tragic figure because of that. Because his alter ego is what he has to present to people all the time. He doesn't get to dress up at night. He has to dress up all day long, every day, until every once in a while he gets to go be himself for a few minutes.
Like, remember that scene too? It's like he doesn't even have to change necessarily. Like, at one point he just kind of shifts into his outfit.
Yeah. Well, he runs around real quick in the thing, in the turnstile, and in the comic books, he would go into he would look around and find a phone booth. That was his thing, and he would duck in there real quick, and there would be a scene of him, like a panel of him ripping open his shirt, and underneath it was the Superman suit. So I guess the idea is he's wearing that Superman suit underneath the suit all the time, so the suit just comes off. Who knows where it goes?
Yeah.
Maybe he tucks it into a pocket in the super suit.
Or you can morph it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of that. They don't show that happening.
Yeah.
But
I think
maybe that's what it is.
Would have probably just looked too wonky.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, in the comic books, it's functional. In the comic books, he's got a suit on underneath his shit. He's got to strip off his stuff. It's very iconic, that vision of Clark Kent pulling his shirt open and you see the super symbol. But in the movie, you remember they do like a little kind of nod to it. He runs over to a phone, but at this point in the 70s, phone booths were going away and phones were becoming, the more modern payphone. So he runs up to one and he's like, all right. And he goes and runs through the turnstile, becomes Superman. I don't know. They did what they had to do with it. But I don't know. It kind of it made me question this. Am I done with the superhero genre, or am I just done with Marvel's way of presenting it? And I think that watching a little bit of that Superman movie made me realize I'm just kind of done with the way that frenetic Marvel pacing and the constant attempts to make me laugh, 9/10 of which don't land. That type of shit is what I'm kind of done with. Because I really enjoyed the pacing of Superman. And I really want to go back and watch the first Batman, the Tim Burton Batman. I know I'm awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. We also noticed that, like, maybe Marlon Brando got more bagel than we thought he did. Because, like, when he was going through space, there was a lot of wibbly space bagels.
That's true. He didn't get to be a green bagel, but he got to be a green crystal. And there were definitely some bagel shapes thrown into the movie that were probably Marlon Brando's fucking influence, So you're into grimdark now? No. Dude, Superman, we're talking about Superman, the first Superman, the 1977 Superman. Not grimdark at all. Very colorful, very upbeat, very beautifully shot movie, not kind of drenched in this heavy, dirty, grimy atmosphere. Even the fucking villain, Lex Luthor, played by, what's his name? Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Is a colorful character. And then we're talking about watching the Tim Burton Batman, which is darker because it's Burton, but it's cartoon dark, so it's colorful dark. Like the city is grimy and dark, but everybody in it is colorful.
I noticed too that Lex Luthor had a very clear reason why he was being evil.
Right.
Like, it wasn't just evil for the sake of evil. He wanted real estate.
He was right. He was after money. So he's just he's a guy that's a cut above your average bank robber.
Yeah.
That it would take a guy like Superman to deal with because he's a genius.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, you know what I mean? You understand the motivation of the villain. It's not
like nuking for the sake of nuking.
Or revenge or something, which is common in a lot of these Marvel movies. It's like, oh, I was wronged, and so now I'm a fucking that. He's not that. He's just like, I'm a dude that's like smarter than the average bear, and I realize that there's a lot more fucking money to be made stealing than there is trying to play the real game, and so I'm gonna steal on a level that like your average person can't even conceive of.
Because I mean, that kind of shit happens all the time in real estate.
Yeah.
It's just a lot milder.
Right.
Like intentionally devaluing property to make yours better or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. The action set pieces and stuff too are all very slow paced, like they are in real life, like the disaster with the helicopter where he first meets Lois Lane.
Yeah.
That whole sequence, if you think about a Marvel movie, would have been like weird zooms and camera work with CG and cut, and then like you know what I mean? And in this movie, it's very like, I don't know, the pacing is very different. It's like there's a crash and you have this moment of frenetic activity and then it gets hung up and then Lois Lane is slowly falling out of it, and the tension builds, as she slowly loses her grip on it. And then finally, she absolutely just lets go. And at the last second, Superman swoops her, and then it's this great relief of tension. And then they have this great moment where it's like, he saved her, and then the helicopter is about to fall on the crowd. So you get this other like, oh, fuck. And then Superman grabs that, too. You know what I mean? Great, like, look at that as an action sequence where the tension inside of you is allowed to build like, oh, fuck, man, she's going to fall. Even if you know Superman's obviously coming.
Yeah.
It's still like so different than a Marvel movie where it's just like assault you with the fucking, you hear the rotor blade comes flying out at the screen and, everybody goes into slow-mo and the fucking explosions are happening behind them. The fucking sound effect, that whole fucking thing that they do, half of it's CGI and it's just the camera is so freeform now that it's not tied to anything, so it just He goes through the helicopter. You know what I'm talking about. That overwrought visual style. In this movie, it was very brutal, quick, and then filled with like this, like, oh shit, the aftermath tension. Like, how is he, how are we going to solve this? And then it was just great to see. I don't know.
Yeah. And then there was that tension at the very end with Lois Lane.
Yeah. Kind of a stupid.
Yeah.
Are you? I'm thinking because I didn't finish watching it with
Like
you.
falling into the crack and being buried under the dirt and actually dying.
But and then he rewinds time by, which that part of, I always remember, even when I was a kid, I was like, that's not how it works.
I mean, at least it made a purpose for why his dad told him not to interfere with human history, because he's like, oh, you can reverse time. That's why
he can fly so fast around the earth that he stopped. Like, I'm pretty sure that would cause like worldwide catastrophe, not time reversing. He flies around the earth against its fucking orbit until it slows down and starts going backwards, and that rewinds time on the planet.
And then he has to go forwards again.
And then he's got to go forwards again, but just enough so he has a chance to save Lois as well as defeat the bad guy. So whatever, you know what I mean? It's still a cool scene. It's like an emotionally effective scene, right? No matter how stupid the fucking solution is, because of course, it would destroy the atmosphere. It would cause like global tidal waves, I would assume, and all kinds of fucking crazy shit, right? But whatever.
I mean, he is pretty fucking powerful. He literally went into the Earth's mantle to refill the San Andreas fault.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying, dude. Superman could do some shit.
You don't see anyone else going into the mantle of the Earth to save it.
Hell no. Dude, Batman would be like, I'm fucked. Well, I have like some exploding gadgets that blind people. Let's see, what else do I got? I got a bat wing flying thing, but that can't go into the mantle. I got a cool car and a cool motorcycle. I can fly, if that would help a little bit, or glide at least. We're fucked if Batman's on that case.
Yeah. Most superheroes, like Spider-Man, couldn't do that.
I can't think of a superhero that could.
Never seen anyone else go into the mantle.
Yeah, who goes to the fucking mantle of the earth? Of course, Man of Steel is unwatchable. All the modern Supermans suck because they refuse to be correct. They refuse to present the character in a way that's sympathetic. Yeah, I saw the new Suicide Squad. I'll probably click on it at some point. It's on HBO Max now, so I might as well take a look at it. But I don't have high hopes, but I'm willing to give it a shot. I mean, if any franchise had potential, but it was in sore need of a reboot, it was Suicide Squad, because I think the idea of Suicide Squad is interesting. Like, a bunch of failed villains are kind of conscripted into service, and you have to use your powers for good or else. You know what I mean? Like, I can get with that. It's a good concept. It just, in the movie, it was terrible.
Like, do they ever really do that again with Superman in the following movies? Like, have him do something that fucking, like, alien-like?
Like, that over the top? I don't think so. I think they're smart enough to not have him try and do shit like that. But that, like, in the second Alien movies, or sorry, the second Superman movie, General Zod comes back. So do they come back in the first movie?
No.
Okay, so yeah. So in the second movie, those people at the beginning that get sentenced, they end up, because fucking Krypton was destroyed, escaping their prison or whatever the fuck that was, the prison parallelogram. And they come back for that. And so Superman has to fight 3 other Kryptonians. So that's kind of cool. And I can't remember who it is in Superman 3.
Is it Lex Luthor again, maybe?
Maybe. But they did like 4 of them. I think there's 4 of the original Superman movies with Christopher Reeve.
But yeah. I mean, the dumbest thing in that movie was teenage Superman looking nothing like.
It was strange. Well, Christopher Reeve was such a big, tall, broad dude.
I guess they thought like a teenager just can't possibly.
They could have shot it differently. Like they could have boyished up his look and shot it in such a way to where he was like standing in a slight pit. So they made him like shorter, or they could have just hired extraordinarily tall, young looking people.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess he was too buff too, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, he was pretty ripped. But they could have hid that like they do with the, well, no.
Or they could have at least picked a young looking actor that had black hair. Like,
True.
magically.
It was just a strange decision to not, because Christopher Reeve was young enough looking, I think, that they could have pulled off that he was in high school.
Yeah.
Definitely nowadays they would have used CGI or something to age him down or whatever.
Yeah, where exactly does the change happen in the movie? Is it just like when he starts at the Daily Planet?
What? Code, why are you talking about a fucking guy falling off his horse? Why, when I tune into this shit, is it just babbling gobbledygook?
Not a spanking?
No, just fucking... We're talking about Superman, god fucking damn it.
That's not even a tangent.
It's just like you're off on your own world. I know the Superman actor fell off his horse. Yeah, but why are we talking about him falling off his horse? We're talking about the goddamn movie. That's what I'm talking about. It's just like, yes, every little fact about Christopher Reeve's life is a thing. But what does him falling off his horse have to do with the movie? He fell off his horse and broke his neck in real life and died a fucking quadriplegic. There you go.
Wasn't no quadriplegic in Superman.
It's like, fuck, man. Do you guys not understand what derailing means? We were talking about the actor. We were talking about the actor in terms of like how he could have been cast differently, how they could have used him in the fucking high school scene rather than hiring another fucking actor to do it. We were not talking about the fact that the guy that played Superman fell off his horse later in life. It's just like, fuck, man. Not every tangential thing is salient to a conversation. You understand? It's like, we're talking about Superman did you know that fucking Margot Kidder went fucking nuts? The lady that played fucking Lois Lane went absolutely fucking batshit insane, crazy nuts. And is now fucking incarcerated in a facility and shit because she sees things and hears things that aren't there. There you go. Now we're fully derailed. Now we're talking about fucking actors and shit. We're not talking about the goddamn movie. Well, if the dude is autistic and isn't good with social situations, then he can learn from this. Because one of the things that, I guess, if that's an expression of autism that he needs to learn, is that not every fucking tangential thing is worthy of a fucking goddamn tangent. You can talk about certain aspects of something without going into every other little aspect of it. Because now we're no longer having the interesting conversation we were having before about Superman and how it compares to other fucking things. Now we're talking about the minutia of the actors that were in Superman and newsworthy things that happened to them, which have nothing to do with the plot of the film, nothing to do with the quality of the film, nothing to do with how the film compares to modern films. That's the conversation we were having. So there's the sphere of conversation. Here's your comment. Here's your fucking 2-3 paragraphs of the guy fell off his horse and then I had a friend that was afraid to get on his horse after that. Aren't you doing your part in derailing the conversation as well? Don't fucking correct me. Do as I say, not as I do. You sit back and you listen when I'm speaking about people in the fucking chat. I derail the conversation at will. And I chose to derail the conversation to point out that I'm not just this one fucking dude either, but a bunch of fucking people in the chat. We're talking about how Christopher Reeve fell off his fucking horse. So yeah, you don't like me fucking hammering a point down, go ahead and leave. Vamos.
Tree factories is a good point. Like, it's a tangent. Marlon Brando got a shit ton of money, but that still leads into what Marlon Brando did in the movie.
Right.
He got first billing despite not being in it that much.
Yep. Ugh.
Like, yeah, Ingrid, it's like you don't help a person with autism by just letting them not do well in social situations over and over. Like, with anything, you have to, like, learn to cope and learn to adapt and shit. We're moving along. And away we go. Well, Pranav, like this type of place is typically counterintuitive to normal human interaction. What I call, like, I don't want to, the word normal is always problematic. So let's say typical human interaction, right? Human interactions are something like 85% nonverbal. Human interactions come with consequence. So, you know, you have to factor in another person's reaction to the things that you say. You have to factor in the social acceptability of the things that you say. None of those things really exist here on the internet. On the internet, you can be a total fucking clown shoe that just, you know, and
90% of fucking internet chats are that way. This place is different. Like, I enforce a fucking standard here. And that standard includes, having a normal, functional human conversation. If you're going to contribute something, realize that your contributions often end up being read by the person that's doing this. I'm not just staring off into the ether. Okay? I glance at this shit. I use it as a touchstone. I answer your questions. I follow your tangents. But I got to tell you, man, you have to fucking be able to read the room. Listen to what I'm talking about if you're going to participate, and then participate on that level.
I don't know. You want another lap time? Can you do it?
Hey, he did it. What is it, D? What's got you all in a kerfluffle?
Is it that person mowing or whatever? Leaf blowing?
He just got a leaf blower. That's all that is. Well, I mean, that's probably a good thing. You're actually considering the things that are going out, so you're not just putting out gibberish. Sarcasm translates perfectly fine in chats. You just have to be considerate of the fact that I can't see you and I can't hear you. So you got to be extra sarcastic. That's it. But that doesn't mean that we can't. Because, like, look, all right. Back in the earlier days of the internet, when people would be involved in a community whose primary function was discussion, and that's what this is. That's what Highdeology is. We are a smallish community of people who get together to have discussions. That doesn't mean we don't fucking laugh and have fun and get goofy and do stupid shit. Sometimes we do. When the mood is there, when the fucking mood strikes, we do that. We're goofy as fuck. But it's all an analog to the same type of communities I was involved in back in the day. And I will tell you, in every one of those communities, there was one or two people who seemed intent on derailing or not getting or overreacting. And it was always like part of the community's action to push those people out of the community. And what you would end up with is a community of fucking people who can have conversations, have arguments with one another, and it's entertaining to go back and read it, to see where a thread went. So primarily I'm talking about message boards and shit. There were people who had personalities, you knew to a certain extent, at least about some people, things about their lives. You had a little bit of skin in the game. And the health and well-being and interest of that community was of interest to everybody there. And the people that were there to disrupt it eventually got pushed out of the community or marginalized. And that was just, like, to me, that's normal. That's how it works in real life. You've got a group of fucking people that get together for something, and one or two of those people are hyper fucking annoying, constantly off topic, constantly just attention seeking, constantly not getting it, whatever the fucking case may be. You stop hanging out with those people.
Those boards were like a lot more regimented too. Like if you went off topic and like a specific topic.
See, our boards, I was an admin.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't the site owner, but I was the site admin, one of 3 people that kind of like oversaw the whole thing. And our moderation policy was incredibly lenient. Spamming was fine because, like if it was a known person, like making a stupid fucking off-topic thread was fine. It was derailing the conversations that were going on. So if somebody made a conversation about guns or whatever, and you came in and you're just posting pictures of dicks or whatever, you're going to get fucking shit canned eventually for that. And that's really the analog to what's going on here. It's like we got most of the people that are participating in this contributing in one way or another tangentially to the topic, and then you've got one or two people that are just yeah, I mean, you know, in your personal life, you rarely may come across a social situation where you can't like effectively push that person out. But if I were you, I would just like limit my fucking time around that person to the best of my ability. But when it comes to this shit, that's what all of this is about. That's what the rules are about. You're mainly a listener. That's cool. You and about 100 other people. You know what I mean? Like, we usually top out in here at like 130, 140, 150 people. I'd say out of those people, there's probably 100 people that never chat. And that's cool. But those of you that do, those of you that want to partake in this community, that's what I'm trying to foster here, is a place where, you know, we can have a fucking conversation. Where people consider the things that they say before they type them out, before they hit the post button. And, you know, not every time that you say something, but at that point, if you're on topic, you'll contribute. That's the whole idea. Thank you, Jams, for the 5
pounds.
Is that a pound?
Yeah. Just think like O for London or something.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it does look a little too similar to the euro.
It does. I just gained 5 pounds. God damn it. We've got ourselves a Brit. I feel like being able to make conversation becoming a rare skill these days. Even normies who are never online, they often have no personality or anything to say. I don't know about that. I know it's a problem online. I don't really see it being a problem in my personal life. The people that I'm around are pretty diverse, and there's really nobody that like. I mean, there's some people that walk the line on being annoying and overbearing and shit, but I just don't know anybody that's like the people that I'm talking about on the internet. That it's just like the only attention I can get is negative attention. I just don't get that.
Well, I think too, it's like people are focusing less on nonverbal communication. Like so many people are like meet with friends, like glancing at their phone over and over again. So they're not looking at expressions. They're not fucking.
True. Yeah.
Like, yeah, the artist, you made a good point. Like, silent films were heavily reliant on nonverbal expression. You didn't write out every single word that they were saying because you didn't need to.
You didn't have to, right? A lot of it was implied through their body language, facial expression, animated way of delivering the line. So it's, I don't know. That's a one-way street. You haven't noticed YouTubers having more and more annoying voices? I don't know. I don't watch a lot of YouTubers, so I guess not. I guess I haven't noticed it. And we got ourselves a couple of little buzzers here. There we go. Yeah. Go ahead and land. Don't land over here by me. Land on the table somewhere, please.
Land your foot.
Oh, yeah? Oh, God damn it. I twitched. Scared him off. kids. Yeah. That's true. I was a kid, though, when I started doing this shit. Never catch live. No interest in being a problem. Just whenever you want to be involved. You have massive respect for Paul. Oh.
I think I timed that person because they were like, I was gone. What's going on?
Ah. Rewind. Be kind. Rewind. Please don't time me out. Don't ask again.
Bitching about it just makes it worse.
Bitching about it, attention seeking like you're doing right now is the way to get yourself timed, tiddly timed. And eventually shit canned. Well, there you go. Too stupid. Too stupid to participate. If you're going to contribute to the campfire, add some wood. Don't take a dump on it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, if you get timed out, if you get that mercy, just go back like nothing ever happened.
Yep. Don't come in talking about how you were timed out. Don't call attention to yourself again. Dude, if I was in the chat and I got timed out in here, I'd duck out for the rest of the show. Come back the next time when I don't remember that I had to time you out and try again to not be annoying. See, there are some people in here that just never get it. And there are some people in here that fucking have no problem contributing. I don't think I've ever timed out Jawan one time. Like, Jawan just knows how to chill, knows how to be on topic, knows how to be cool about it. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of people like that. A bunch of recognizable, constant fucking flow of good fucking comments and shit. On topic shit. They're listening, they're participating. And then there's just a bunch of people that are just flibberty gibbet, fucking. And it's a constant battle. Well, that's why Jawan got a wrench. Not because he ever asked for it, but because he was consistently up in here for a lot of the shows and was never a dude I had to worry about. Never a dude I had to worry about fucking going on a fucking weird-ass tangent. Never a dude I had to worry about attention-seeking in the chat, off-topicing. He's just a dude that, like, whenever I saw him participate, it was on topic or funny or a reaction to something I said, and that's all I ask, you know? Just have something to say.
No. Cigarettes are not a topic.
Yep. Like, if you're a young person, and maybe there are some youngsters in the chat, let me explain something to you. When you get older, you are not going to give a flying turd fuck about smoking cigarettes, vaping, somebody fucking taking a hit of weed. All of these things that seem like really interesting and alien to you because you haven't gotten to experience a lot of them yet are going to be so fucking rote and stupid that you're never going to even want to discuss them. So try and keep that in mind. I want you to, like, close your eyes and think about 41 years. That's how long I've been on the planet. 41 trips around the goddamn fucking sun. That's why the what drug you done questions had to be fucking banned. That's why that fucking type of shit just never flies around here, because I realized at some point, because I have no problem talking about my experiences with such things. I think it's fucking perfectly fine. But I realized at some point topically that all I was really doing was fulfilling some vicarious living for people who were too young or too scared to do those things themselves. And it really started to bore me retelling the same anecdotal shit about my experiences with drugs. It's kind of a shame because I had a lot of interesting experiences doing drugs, but it's become a topic that's so prone to having people fucking just go off on this self-indulgent kind of like vicarious, I want to know what drug you've done, Paul's ego, asking the same fucking questions over and over again.
Or like asking for advice, like, should I?
Yeah, I don't know how explicit I can be and how explicit I can be going back into the past either. If you listen to me, I've always been a dude who's like, dude, don't come to me for advice on drugs. Like, that is not my job. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a fucking specialist. I've taken a lot of drugs. I'm more than happy to tell you how those affected me and what I did. But when it comes to like, should I? Can I? Don't fucking ask me that shit. I ain't no doctor. I'm not a fucking goddamn... I'm not an expert on this shit.
Bro, stop.
Don't even worry about it. Just ban them. Just get them out. Just too stupid. If you have to start your comment with, I know this is off topic, or I know that blah, 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 this is not the best comment, or I know that whatever, don't type it. If you know it's off topic, if you know it's not a good, don't give me a paragraph of that shit. That shit's on site. This has come up now multiple fucking times. So it just goes to show you how this whole battle is an ongoing fucking thing, and it has ebbs and flows. We go through these times where it's really fucking good and it's not a big deal. And that's it. You can't teach somebody to tell stories. It's not like a class you can teach. So no. I really don't have, I mean, there's advice that I could give, but it's all very general advice. The best advice that you can get for telling stories or anything really is to do it a bunch. That's what makes somebody an expert at something. It's not like going on YouTube and finding a 10-minute tutorial. It's literally spending 10,000 hours deliberately doing it. And if there's anything on this planet that I've spent 10,000 hours deliberately doing, it's telling stories. Not just to relay information, but with the intent to entertain people. I've been doing it since I was literally a child. So I have easily 10,000 hours worth of deliberate experience telling stories, and that's what you got to do. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. The reason I'm an awesome storyteller, the reason that I can tell an evocative story really well, is because I practiced a lot. The reason that I can come up with extemporaneous jokes and do all this kind of theatrical stuff is because that's another thing in my life that I've probably spent a good 10,000 hours of deliberate practice doing. I wasn't born, like doing what I do. So that's the best advice. Find some storytellers that you like, emulate certain things about their style, and then start doing it. Start going out, telling stories, finding venues to tell stories, open mic nights, go to parties, test them out, see what works. See, for me, I didn't know what I was doing as a little kid, but I was labbing material all the time. So as a kid, here's how I remember the process. There were a number of adults that were around me when I was a kid that were fucking just fantastic storytellers, right? I've told you guys I grew up in a heavy labor organization environment. And so in that environment, there's a lot of camaraderie between the people that are in the labor union together. And that extends outside. So a lot of my quote unquote aunts and uncles growing up were people that weren't related to me at all. They were just very close friends of my family, comrades, co-workers in the union. And a lot of these people were just intensely great storytellers. My parents, of their own right, both of them great storytellers for different reasons. And so what I did, I remember as a little kid, I was allowed to be around very adult situations. Not sex, but like partying, right? My parents worked hard and they played hard. And during the weekends, when their shift was off, the people that they worked with every day, a good chunk of them would end up at my parents' house and there'd be a big ass fucking knockdown, drag out party. People would be drinking. And so as a little kid, I remember listening and watching and learning what was funny to people. So I would watch my Uncle Jimmy, who was a big influence on my life, not even related to me, completely just a friend of my family. And I would watch him fucking have an entire room of people literally doubled over with laughter. Doubled the fuck over, blah, 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 blah. People just dying. And I really wanted that. It was the first thing when I was a kid that I saw an adult do that I was like, man, I want to do that. And so I would listen. My Uncle Floyd, another good example. Also not an uncle. Different style. He was like a Mitch Hedberg type of guy. Stonery. And he would have people fucking dying. My dad would get on a roll. Have people dying. My mom would get on a roll. All these people. And so I watched and I listened. And then I started trying to do it myself. And before I knew it, I was, as a young kid, in that position where I would tell somebody a story and they'd laugh their ass off and they go, you got to go tell everybody this. And everybody would gather around and listen to me fucking tell a story and die laughing about it. And as soon as I got a taste of that, I was done. I knew that that's what I wanted. I didn't know how that was going to express itself in terms of like work. But I just knew this is me. This is what makes me happy. Making other people fucking laugh is my favorite thing in the world. And so I have spent my whole life, if I've dedicated my life to anything, it's that. Trying to learn what's funny. And trying to bring that to people. And so if you want to be good at it, that's what you got to do. 10,000 hours of practice sounds like a lot, but you can dedicate your fucking life to something right now and get 10,000 hours of practice in a few years. It's a matter of caring about it. Right? I don't think that far ahead. Like, I'm not thinking about, like, what am I going to do after DFF runs its course? Or what am I going to do after this or after that? I'm focused on my job now, man. I'm on the show now.
like the opposite of how you succeed is just focusing on the next thing you're gonna do.
Yeah. You got to be present in what you're doing. I don't really have an interest in stand-up comedy now. I wonder if that dude's got 1,000 hours of deliberate practice blowing leaves.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I get to have fun at my job. That doesn't mean everything about my job is fun, but that means that I get to have fun, because I've sought out something that fulfills me and made a job of it, at least for now, and that's great. Audiobooks are for idiots. All right, I've seen you be timed out, so I'm going to go ahead and fucking nuke you now. I don't even know why you're talking about audiobooks. I just got done ranting about how off-topic shit is so fucking annoying for me to see, so your dumb ass is fucking dumped.
Because you see someone else say something doesn't mean that's the new topic.
Too dumped. Too dumb to participate. Too stupid to deal with. See ya. Well, you're going to have to work harder than that, rumor with legs. I mean, the whole idea of DFF is that there's no way to run out of ideas. DFF is a show about everything and a show about nothing. It's a show about our three personalities with, once again, the burrito analogy. The burrito is us and the tortilla is the topic. As long as there are things in the universe, and there are always going to be things in the universe, there will always be topics for DFF. Now, that doesn't mean that DFF is eternal, but as it stands right now, there's no chance of us running out of topics. Now, one of the things that we do and will do in the future is take a look at which topics do better than other topics. Because there's definitely some topics that, despite our interest in them and despite our thinking, hey, this is a pretty good episode, people are just like, meh. People don't click on it. They don't watch it. They don't know it came out. They don't care it came out. But some topics, obviously, people enjoy. So we have to do more of those and less of these others.
And like you're embracing sequels more because if something does really good, why not?
Yep. I mean, that's another thing about it is like once we've covered a topic, there's always, as we say, more meat on that bone. And we go back to it and we nibble some more meat off the bone. So I could probably do, 4 or 5 more Clits of Steel episodes. I could probably do 4 or 5 more Weird Weapons episodes. I could probably do, it just depends. What patterns are you noticing? One of the patterns that I have noticed is that episodes. This is the Pamela Anderson episode, dude. That's what we should do. Call it the Hepisode. That's mean. She has hepatitis. Let's see. One of the things that I have noticed is that episodes that rely heavily on a visual element, like look at this crazy thing, look at this crazy picture, look at this crazy album cover, look at this crazy magazine cover. As fun as those are to look at, and as funny as I think they are, they're too visual. I think a huge swath of people that watch our show listen to it. And so when they see a topic like crazy magazine covers, they're like, I can't even see them. I'm going to be driving down the road, or I can't even see them. I'm going to be playing my video game. But when they see an episode like Ben Shapiro destroyed with facts and logic, or, biography on Teddy Roosevelt or whatever, they know that it's not going to be something that they have to look at. They can listen to it. And that is something that has just slapped us in the face like a ton of bricks when it comes to DFF as a podcast. About a year and a half ago, we did a poll of our patrons, who we consider to be our hardest core fans. Obviously, they're the people that are coming out of pocket every month. And we asked them, what level of attention are you paying when you watch our episodes? And the available answers were, ranged from I'm just listening passively, to I'm watching every episode. And it was something like 62% of people were like, I'm listening most of the time and kind of passively watching.
I think you might have given them too many options on that poll, too.
But I'm telling you, it was that 62% of respondents said passively, I might glance at it every once in a while, but most of the time I'm listening. Didn't fucking pick up on the conversation earlier, apparently, so now you're banned. Unbelievable.
I just feel like some people maybe weren't honest, too, so there might be even more people that don't watch it intently. They're like, oh, they might be offended if I say I don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It just is what it is. Like, people have told me for a long time that they fall asleep to my longer videos and my Highdeologies and shit. That doesn't offend me at all. I fall asleep to a lot of long form content and shit. So that being said, it's just it's naturally going to be less engaging and less interesting and less likely for me to click on something if I know there's a heavy visual element, like, oh my God, look at this. This looks crazy. Rather than just kind of something that is more conversational. So, for example, an episode that we did that did really well was it was a while ago. It was actually right before the pandemic started. It was actually the last episode that we shot in the same room together before the pandemic started. It was the Possible Futures episode, completely non-visual. All about us discussing esoteric concepts, about the ways that humanity could possibly end up in a distant future, the ways that we could adapt to the things that are happening, the goods, the bads, the uglies, all of that. And there was no visual component to it, and it did really well. Biographical episodes where we cover a personality typically do really well. Sometimes they don't, I guess. But they do better than these heavily visual episodes. Crazy Karens and stuff. That does good because there's an audio component to it. They can, at least the people listening can hear the Karen being crazy. What else? I'm trying to think of examples of episodes that wouldn't do good. Trailer reactions.
If YouTube doesn't really let you do it anyway.
Right. They don't do good anyway when we do them. I mean, sometimes they do, but Sometimes they just don't do good because they're so visual. We're reacting to a bunch of visual shit.
Hop up.
Can I get a wink? Give me a wink. I need a D wink. Give me a winky.
Too distracted.
I want a wink. No, they both close. I want a wink. Dude, Dino will straight up wink at you sometimes. You'll be looking at him because he's got these eyes that, like, when he's looking straight at you, you can't help but, like, what? And then you'll look at him and he'll go, like... Yeah, Dino has, like, the most piercing eyes of any dog I've ever had. They're, like, a size and a half too big for his head.
Yeah.
And they're just, like, these big, pretty brown orbs of... And his eyebrows add so much, like, character to them. Oh, big yawn. Big yawn. Give me a wink. He won't do it.
There's so much intent in them, too.
Yeah. He's got the magic eyes. You have to really experience them in person, too. There's like a whole feeling of being stared at by Dino.
Yeah, like you really don't even notice how like offset his eyes are when you're looking at him.
No. Because they're functionally offset.
Yeah.
They're a little too big for his skull, but not...
Different directions.
Yeah, they point different directions, but he still can look at things, you know.
Yeah. I know a lot of people see a picture of Dino and his eyes are just facing different directions and they think that...
Yeah.
Oh, it's goofy. Come on back in.
A single eye, lidless, wreathed in flame. You have seen it. You know of what I speak. A single eye, lidless, wreathed in flame. The healing gaze of Dino, yeah. Tell me, when did Saruman the White fall into madness? Madness. You don't see your fate. I am, dude, trust me, I'm Dino's best friend, and I can attest you do not see your fate in Dino's eyes. You do. You do see understanding, rudimentary animal understanding there, which is very strange. Do you own any guns? That's none of your business. Hopefully you never have to find out the answer to that question. let's just put it this way. I'm a leftist who is pro gun ownership, responsible gun ownership. And let's leave it at that. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Goodbye. Busy day. Relatively busy day ahead of me, yeah. My sleep schedule seems to be going through the reset back to getting up earlier, which is nice. So that gives me a little more time than I'm used to having at the beginning of my day. And it gives me some time to enjoy the cooler hours of the day in the morning. Which is also nice. Dude, yesterday, oh my fucking God, bro. The world was like, dude, there's this huge fire going on in Northern California. It's like, I think, the second or third biggest fire in California's history at this point. And it's dumping an immense amount of smoke into the Central Valley. And so it's hazy and shit today, but yesterday the sky was legit brown. And the sun was obscured by the cloud of fucking smoke that just hangs over the valley. It was fucking awful. It looked apocalyptic here. It was so gross. So at the very least today, it looks like, I don't know, it looks like the sky has cleared a little bit. Well, the world is ending. Yeah, that's true. A house burned down that TJ and I were renting. At the time that it almost burned down, TJ, Chelsea, Ashley, and myself were all living together there. And Scotty and Taylor had lived there with us for a while too, but they'd moved out at the point that it almost burned down. And then, yeah. In PHX, you were literally walking in a haze. You're talking about Phoenix Sky Harbor? Isn't that PHX? I have not had a chance to listen to Bright Green Lies yet, no, so. I would say just, get whatever one you want to get. Derek Jensen's books are, I don't know. I own a couple of them in paperback, and I own a couple of audiobooks. You ever seen a forest in real life? What? A forest fire in real life? No. I have not. Not like up close, anyway. Like, I've seen, I guess, distant ones. Like, I've driven over the Grapevine when parts of the coastal range were on fire and seen, like, the distant kind of burning smoke and shit on the mountains, but I've never been up close and personal with a forest fire or anything. Knock on cheap ass whatever this is. Yeah. Does DFF work on weekends? Yes, we work today. Today's like our Friday. We take a couple of days off and then back to it. And I say a couple of days off, but you know, I stream. TJ does his Abandoned Hopes during those days. I do my patron streams during those days. But like as far as us all getting together and shooting main content, today's the last day of the week that we do that. Ever had a nice watch? No, unfortunately not. I actually kind of like watches, but I don't think I would ever like splash out on a big expensive watch or whatever the fuck. I just can't see myself doing that. I joined the Night's Watch on the wall. Fuck no. Behead me. Behead me. I don't know. I kind of like fancy watches. Like I watched this dude named Producer Michael on YouTube. He's a super rich music producer guy, and he has like an insane watch collection. Like just insanely rare, cool, expensive watches. I have a pair of expensive shades. I lost my uh, Ray-Ban Kernels when I was moving somehow. And I've been wearing Amelia's sunglasses for like a year. And so I finally bought myself a pair of expensive shades. And I've always gotten Ray-Bans and shit. I wanted to get something a little different this time. Um, so I got a pair of Gucci shades that are really cool. Um, but I gotta be honest with you, like it's the one thing, like I'm not a luxury guy, but when it comes to having good sunglasses, it's really important to me. And so like I don't splurge on sneakers. Like I bought myself a new pair of shoes recently because I needed my sneakers were just worn the fuck out. So I bought myself a pair of Pumas. But yeah, I bought a pair of Gucci shades and they're pretty cool. They were pretty expensive, but hopefully I'll have them for a long time. Jesus. There goes the owner-operator with the car truck. But I've kind of run up into this like kind of situation where I bought this pair of Gucci shades because I liked the way that they looked, but I don't want to wear them because I don't want people to think I'm some bougie fuck that wears, Gucci sunglasses. So I'm just like, God damn it. I didn't even think of that when I bought them. When I got them, I was just like, wow, I really like how these look. But I guess they're probably not even really all that recognizable as Gucci sunglasses. You don't know unless you know, I guess. You might as well have a sign that says rob me. Yeah. Rob me. I've got like a Gucci wallet and I'm wearing expensive fucking shoes probably. And I probably have a fucking Lamborghini. No. I honestly don't think that the shades that I bought are super recognizable as Gucci. I think you just kind of like have to know. Shades are different. Like, I have to wear my shades all the time. Yeah, don't walk around the bad part of Beverly Hills with those shades. Good point. Because you know what'll happen. Somebody will say, nice glasses. Nice glasses, my dude. Gucci shades, Gucci shades. Spend 3 racks on a new chain. Gucci shades, Gucci shades, Gucci shades, Gucci shades. Just nice. My day is ruined. Yeah. Did Charlie Kirk agree Beverly Hills was going downhill? Oh my God, bro. Yeah, Charlie Kirk, bro. Where you at? I know you landed somewhere nearby. I heard you stop. Yeah, there you are. Okay, you were behind the cup. Land somewhere where I can fucking see you. You're dead. Bye. No more buzzing from that fuck. Haven't heard a good strong breeze through the eucalyptus trees in a long time. That's nice. Blow some of that smoke out of this fucking valley, thank you. Dude, my mom had a Bigfoot sighting. She tells the story, dude. It's pretty creepy. Like, I can't really tell it as well as her, but she says that her dad would take the kids camping. Like one of his things that he would do is he would individually take the kids camping. And camping for him was sleeping in a tiny little camper shell in the bed of his little truck. And so it was real kind of like rough camping. And so it was my mom's turn to go camping with Dad. They drove up into the woods here in California, up into the Sierras somewhere. Parked their car off somewhere, little camping spot, set up a fire outside, and blah, blah, blah. Roasted weenies, the whole nine camping thing. Then it came time to go to bed. And so they crawled into the back of this thing, closed everything up, and went to sleep. Well, my mom says my dad woke her up at some point and was like, like, why? And at that point, my mom realized that something big was like walking by the car. Like something big and shaggy was like rubbing up against the car. And she said her dad said like, it's like a bear. So the bear was like what they thought was a bear, like rubbing up against the car. My mom claims that it made some noises and shit that sounded like a person vocalizing, like, huh, shit like that, but could have been a bear, right? So anyway, at some point, it circles the car and her dad has a gun. And he decides he's going to scare it off, whatever, because he thinks it's a bear. So he waits until it's over around the back of the car. And he kicks out, waits until it's around the front, kicks out the back of the car, and fires his gun just kind of into the woods. And my mom says this thing made a noise like, bruh! And when she crawled out to look, the branches that were 12 feet up in the air were doing this. Like something that tall had just gone like something like huge, but way up in the trees, way up in the pine trees. So, yeah, I don't know. I've got to do some business over here. It's unfortunate business, but it has to be done. Okay. That was some unfortunate business, but I can't look at it anymore. That was a massacre. Okay. The corner area of my house, about 3 months ago, a gangly spider bro set up shop over here. And I was like, I looked at it and I was like, all right, that's not poisonous. It's cool. And he was very successful. She, obviously, was very successful because for the last week or so, I've been looking at her and her progeny, who have set up kind of a nest over in the corner of this area here on my back porch. And as appealing as it is to have a bunch of spiders kind of catching bugs and stuff over there, I can't look at them. They were those big, spindly, mean looking, nasty looking fucks. And I just murdered a whole nest of them with my salt gun. It had to be done. I couldn't look at it anymore. They were starting to get too fucking much. There were too many of them over there. Every time I looked over there, one of them was like, I'm just like, okay, you know what? You gotta go. So I went Ripley on the nest. I just went Ellen Ripley on the nest. It had to be done. I'm sorry. Like setting up some, like, it's one spider setting up over here is fine. A whole goddamn colony of those gangly motherfuckers living on my house. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I can't hang with it no more. I can't look at that shit anymore. How do you do it? Killing spider women and spider children. It's easy. You just don't lead them so much. Paul, a Steam game called Bone Town you should play. You fight the man by having Sikhs and doing drugs. You also get to beat up Mormons and frat boys named Pee Wee Herman inside a theater. Okay. Well, that sounds fucking stupid. I'll make sure I don't check that out. I guess it's the morning time that these flies really start to become active, when it's nice and cool. That's when they want to be out. Yeah, dude, the fucking genocide I just committed will be remembered when the cosmic spiders get here. When they probe my mind and find this memory, I'm fucking dead. Because I literally salted the nest. I killed large and small spider alike. Today was the day that their reign of terror ended. Yeah, it was definitely Spider 9/11. We seek the one known as Paul's ego for atrocities against spider kind. Now when I look over there, I just see the fucking corpses of the battlefield left behind, and I feel bad now. It's like a war memorial now. Yeah, I was like the meteor that hit the dinosaurs. Yeah. Yeah, I really was. I fucked up that colony, man. That colony is done. Show us? Nah. You guys don't get to see it. It's too disgusting. Too hot for YouTube. If I show you, then you become complicit in the spider apocalypse. Stone-faced insect destroyer, dude. Dude, if the insects do invade, I will be useful in that fight because I feel no pity for the insect kind. I allow certain insects to live because I realize that they do me no harm. But when it comes to them invading my personal space, I feel no pity for any bug. I feel pity for rodents. I feel pity for fucking, every other type of animal, but insect kind, I feel no pity. I have no pity. What about butterflies? See, butterflies don't ever fuck up. That's the thing about a butterfly. The worst thing it might do is like fly past your porch or something. A butterfly ain't gonna be all up in your house. If it's in my house, flew in the wrong motherfucking spot, butterfly. All right, ladybugs get a pass. Ladybugs get a total fucking pass, okay? But they're ladybugs, though. I mean, come on. Cricket takes care of anything that gets inside. Cricket is a very effective hunter of any kind of bug that gets inside the house. What about giant centipedes? Those motherfuckers are on site. I will go get an axe and chop them into tiny little bits if I ever see one. Woe betide the creature. Been getting the itch to play Elite Dangerous again. But I've got to retool my whole fucking desk setup. I think I might need to get like another desk or a new desk because I think I need, here's what I need. I need a station to shoot and then I need a station to chill. And I need to be able to make those stations interchangeable, like set up the shooting over on one side and then move over to the other, do a gaming stream in a place where I'm like real comfortable. And I just don't have enough room on my desk as it stands right now. There's too much shit on my desk. And I'm trying to like think about hooking up a flight stick and a throttle and shit to that. And it's just like, no. But I'm starting to get the itch to boot that game up again. Wow, here's 15 in total. Get a game you actually want since you hated my Bone Towns selection. Don't worry about it, bro. It just doesn't really appeal to me. The whole, like, what you call it, postal style of game where it's like, whoa, I've got a big dildo for a weapon. I don't know. I guess I'm too old for that shit now. All right. Well, I'm done. I'll see you guys later. Bye.